How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be doing my review for Better Call Saul Season 5. So I don't know if I've ever really made a Better Call Saul video on this channel. I've talked about it sometimes in other videos, but either way, this season was great and probably the best season of this series so far. Now, obviously, we still have one more season to go. Unfortunately, it is going to come to an end this series, but season 6 is going to be incredible. I just watched the finale to season 5 before making this video, so it's kind of fresh on my mind the way it ended and all. And I'm just so looking forward to what they have in store in season 6 because it's just going to be crazy. I mean, there's still so much to wrap up, I feel, and the writers are brilliant. They're masterminds. They know what they're doing. They totally know what's up. So I don't doubt them in any way, but it's just crazy to think that is season 6 only going to have 10 episodes, or is it going to be extended, kind of like Breaking Bad's final season? It might have 13 episodes, or who knows, 16, just like Breaking Bad. But I don't know if it will be an extended season. I think it should be, or at least just a few more episodes longer, like 13. But overall, like, yeah, man, I don't know. Anyway, sort of getting into the review now, I do have some points that I do want to go over, and the first thing I want to do talk about in this review is the opener. Each season has the opener of, well, I guess Gene in the future. Obviously he's working at the Cinnabon still. And then we actually do get a cameo from Robert Forster as the Disappearer. And that was pretty cool. Sadly, he passed away, and it was just really cool to see him again in this season. And I am very interested. Like, guys, I'm just this season subverted my expectations in many ways, and that's kind of why I love it so much. And it just really went a different direction that I was not expecting. It was crazy to see sort of all the twists and turns and just the overall direction the series was taking in this season. And again, the flash forwards, I'm not sure what exactly they're planning, and I don't think anyone else does. I don't know, like, some people said that he might meet up with Jesse after the events of El Camino. I don't really know. I think that's a bit far-fetched, but there's just so many things they could do, I think. But again, there's only one thing they're going to do at the end of the day, if that makes any sense. So it's just pretty crazy to think about, but I love the opener to this season. Obviously, towards the beginning of this season, we also got the Hank and Gomi stuff. They returned, and they were basically extended cameos. But they were there for more than one episode and more than one scene. And the one scene where you have Hank and Gomi and Saul in the same room together, and they're having that scene. That was just crazy to see them together, and yeah, it's great. I loved the stuff with Hank and seeing him again in the Breaking Bad universe. I'm really happy that we had another Breaking Bad character make an appearance, and they were there for again, I think only 2 episodes, but man oh man, their impact was great. It was so awesome to see them again. So speaking of going back sort of to the season subverting my expectations, Kim and Jimmy getting married. To be honest, I wasn't expecting this, and I think by episode 6, it's very off. They very seem to be distant from each other and sort of at each other. But then Kim decides to marry Jimmy, and it actually does make more sense more than now that I think about it. But I still think it was crazy in that moment. And yeah, Kim this season, let's just talk about her real quick. Kim this season was fantastic. And she easily has become one of the best characters on the show. I don't know if she's my personal favorite. Like, I just have such a big attachment to Jimmy and a few other characters, Mike. But Kim has definitely grown on me a lot this season. I liked her before, of course, but definitely this season was just yeah, I really enjoyed her character, and I thought what they did with her character was just phenomenal. I mean, yeah. Next thing I want to talk about is the Bagman episode, episode 8, which is my favorite episode of the series. I think. Not including Breaking Bad or anything, but just strictly Better Call Saul. If not my favorite episode of the series, definitely my favorite episode of the season. I think it was so great. That was a total Breaking Bad episode. From the tone, the pacing, all of it felt very Breaking Bad-esque. And to just see Mike and Saul walking through the deserts was just so fun. It was almost like a survival episode, surviving out in the desert. Kind of like a Breaking Bad's 4 Days Out, with Walt and Jesse when the RV, doesn't work, and it's very similar to that episode overall. So I kind of like that aspect to that episode. And yeah, the Bagman episode, I think, is my favorite of the series. And I know a lot of other people really love that episode. But, I might have to go back and rewatch some things. And just to see if it really is my favorite. But yeah, as of now, I will say it probably is. Moving on to some of the Lalo stuff and, the cartel stuff and that whole aspect to things. Mike's definitely getting in closer with Gus. And I think that's, finally, well, his whole story is very interesting. Obviously, he once was a cop, and now him sort of being into this sort of lifestyle, I guess you could say, is just interesting to see kind of, come to fruition. So I really like what they did with Mike, and Lalo is just a crazy, crazy person. And the finale, he didn't die. He's still out there seeking revenge on Nacho, no doubt. And obviously, I mean, here's the thing: I didn't think he was going to die, but at the end of the day, I wanted him to, but at the same time, I felt like, maybe there will be something they do with Lalo, and that he actually does, die. But again, in Breaking Bad, when we meet Saul, he mentions Lalo, and that he's in trouble with him basically. And that sort of leads me to believe, and we're still far out from Breaking Bad's timeline. I mean, there's a shit ton of debate of where Breaking Bad really starts and what year it starts. I think the general consensus is that it's 2008, 2009, around that time frame. And I believe in this season they do confirm it's like 2004. Or at least there's many hints to it being in 2004. So we're still roughly 4 years away from Breaking Bad's beginning, which is very interesting. And that just leads me to believe that season 6 is going to be crazy and probably extended, right? I don't know. I just feel like it has to be. Who knows, though? Again, the writers, they're geniuses. They know what they're going to do, so it's fine. But yeah, it's just it's very interesting. And I'm so excited to see what they do with Lalo. I mean, that ending, dude. Yeah, Lalo is going to. Is Nacho gonna die? Like, yeah. And that ending scene of episode 9, with Kim, going back to Kim again, and her just going against Lalo and just being such a badass dude. Wow, that was absolutely so intense. One of the most intense moments in the entire Better Call Saul series, and yeah, it was just great. And I mean, what else is there to say really about this season? I think it is the best season. I mean, the whole show's been pretty good. I've never been a huge fan of the earlier seasons, I'll be honest, but they've grown on me a lot, especially with this season and then kind of reminiscing over the earlier seasons. They've grown on me a lot, and I absolutely love this series. It's become one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Not quite the same level as Breaking Bad. I know some people think it is, and, I can understand why, but for me personally, I think Breaking Bad is just literally perfect. And I know some people think this show is literally perfect, but it just goes to show you that I guess the Breaking Bad universe in general is just so crazy. And speaking of seasons qualities and all that, I will be doing a ranking video for all 5 seasons of Better Call Saul, so that'll go up after this video, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's overall my thoughts on this season. It's a great season and probably my favorite so far, and I am so hyped for season 6. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a season 6 predictions video. I don't know. But yeah, I would love to talk more about Better Call Saul on my channel and stuff, and Breaking Bad in general, because it's literally just I love it to death. But anyway, guys, let me hear your thoughts on this season. What was your favorite episode? What are your favorite moments, favorite character this season? And yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Boop.